Hello everyone. Today I would like to read out the 14th chapter titled The Journey from Psychologist to Motivational Speaker from my manuscript The Imprisonment. This is a fictional story created for awareness and storytelling. It does not promote or justify any form of crime or harmful activity. Viewer discretion is advised. I'd like to read out the story. Archana returned to the guest house looking exhausted. Darshan had already asked her to vacate the paying guest accommodation and move in here. She sat quietly on the cane chair in the portico. Darshan arrived shortly after and noticed the disappointment on her face. What happened? You don't look like your usual self, he asked. But Bhaiya, she's a criminal, Archana said. She was responsible for taking away innocent lives before they were even born. She admitted it. I don't want to write her story. Darshan remained calm. Tell me everything, he said. What exactly happened? And who are you calling a criminal? Anamika, Archana replied firmly. She accepted what she did and still doesn't think it was wrong. Darshan paused, then spoke thoughtfully. A criminal usually accepts their actions for two reasons, either due to self realization or because they cannot bear the pressure of interrogation. He continued. But Anamika's case seems different. She had accepted her actions out of awareness, yet she doesn't see them as mistakes. He looked at Archana. Don't you think you should understand why? As a writer, you must stay neutral. That's what makes a story powerful. Archana sighed. Why are you pushing me into this world? Darshan smiled gently. To help you overcome your fears and to help you find a meaningful story. After a long conversation, Archana felt calmer. Reluctantly, she decided to continue Anamika's story. The evening passed quietly with conversations, a movie, and rest before the next day. The next morning, both of them headed to the prison. Darshan went to his project site. Archana walked towards her story. Inside, Anamika and Samir sat in silence, watching sunlight enter through the small ventilation opening. Archana stepped forward. I'm sorry for yesterday, she said softly. Please continue your story. Anamika smiled and began. Gradually, my work grew. I no longer depended on the psychologist for referrals. Most of my clients were women and children, victims of domestic violence. Evening felt lonely, so the psychologist suggested I join an elite club of motivational speaker. My interest in public speaking helped me connect with people there. I started influencing people, helping them to do things they once believed were impossible. Even an introvert once gathered the courage to speak openly. She paused briefly. That gave me happiness and a sense of purpose. I began speaking at small events. My parents were happy with my progress. I wasn't successful yet, but I was moving forward. One day, a volunteer from an NGO approached me. She asked for help for a group of destitute women and children rescued from harsh conditions. I agreed without charging anything. I was deeply affected by their pain, especially the children. These women had no escape until they were rescued. I spoke to them, listened to them, and tried to heal them with words. As some of them began rebuilding their lives, I suggested hysterectomy for women who had been repeatedly exploited. I also spoke about preventive measures on public platforms, but my words reached beyond the intended audience. Some women, believing they were not capable of being mothers, chose illegal procedures. She paused. One woman still living in those conditions heard my talks. She used unsafe methods to terminate her pregnancy and later underwent an illegal hysterectomy. The procedure was done by an unqualified person, a medical dropout. I didn't know any of this at that time. It spread quickly. Many women chose similar paths through unsafe means. She shifted slightly. Among the children, there was one boy. He was exceptionally intelligent. I once asked them to make a globe. Most drew countries, but he drew only mountains, rivers, oceans. When I asked him why, he said he had never seen borders drawn by Earth itself. Anamika smiled faintly. I didn't know whether to laugh or to admire him, so I chose silence. I grew fond of him. I even thought of adopting him. But the NGO owner told me he had a serious illness and wouldn't live long. Anamika fell silent. Samir looked up and said quietly, Brilliant. For the first time, Archana didn't ignore him. She noticed something different. Not fear, but something human. She even smiled, just a little. Now she understood Anamika better, her intentions, her logic, and the consequence she never foresaw. But something else had changed. Archana had started wondering about Samir's story too. The meeting time ended. Archana stepped out and went to meet Darshan. He was busy at site, coordinating preparations for the foundation ceremony of the Shantighat project. After a brief conversation, she returned to the guest house. That evening, she reflected deeply Anamika's journey from a student to a psychologist's assistant to an independent consultant to a motivational speaker, and finally to a prison. Her story was not complete yet. There was more to uncover, and this time Archana was ready. She decided she would document everything without bias. That's all for the day. Do let me know your thoughts about this chapter by writing in the comments section. Thanks for watching and thanks for your time.